A pump.
Yeah, take a moment.
Look at us, man. Superman.
That weight is more than what Flavio Boccanini weighs, our other guest professional on the show, and Kevin's doing it for repetitions. Good job, Kevin.
Yeah. Every drop, every ounce, every piece of energy within me.
The experience of being much stronger than everybody else. I think that's an unbelievable experience. You feel richer. You feel that sooner or later that you can do anything.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is a special day, and it's a tradition in my family. I guess not my family. I can't say that. My wife doesn't do it. My daughter's a baby. She can't do it. I guess it's a tradition that I do myself, where even though I, haven't like I sleep, the CPAP issue stopped me from sleeping properly for many years, and I couldn't really get into a routine with working out. So I would not work out most of the year, and then I would try to work out on Thanksgiving just to maintain the tradition. Like, what better time to work out hard and then eat a bunch of protein than Thanksgiving Turkey Day? It's just like the perfect combination. It's like the bodybuilders holiday. Is it really a holiday though? A holiday is short for holy day. It's not a holy day. It's not religious, but it's an American tradition going back to the Pilgrims, which is why I got my pilgrim hat on. And we are going to stick to another tradition. Well, we're going to do, this is actually the first year I'm actually live streaming my tradition, which is working out on Thanksgiving, so you guys can enjoy. And also, I'll be checking the chat. You can share your thoughts and tell me how your Thanksgiving's going. But it's also a tradition where I like to listen to the Rush Limbaugh True Story of Thanksgiving every year on Thanksgiving. So, my grandmother, she wasn't born here. She's from Portugal. But my grandmother's family immigrated to the United States many years ago, like over 100 years ago, I believe. It was 100 years ago. And where did they grow up? Where did my grandmother grow up? She grew up in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Plymouth, Massachusetts, or Plymouth Rock, is where the Pilgrims landed, right? When they came to the United States, when it was just a barren land and there was a bunch of Native Americans running around and whatnot. Nothing really developed at the time. But so I guess I have a special connection to Thanksgiving for that reason too. But it is a tradition where I like to listen to the Rush Limbaugh True Story of Thanksgiving, which is kind of interesting because you don't hear about it in school. You hear kind of like the PC version, where it just talks about like, Thanksgiving and the Native Americans and the Pilgrims having dinner together with a big turkey and corn and mashed potatoes and stuff like that. But this tells you the true story of like the experiment that was the Pilgrims coming to America to begin with. Simply too deep. What's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good with the fam. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving dinner and stuff today. But yeah, we're gonna work out. Great time to work out on Thanksgiving. You get to eat a big protein-rich meal afterwards. You know, you've been busy with life, huh? Okay, that's fair enough. Me too. I've been busy with life. I'm gonna try my best, guys. I'm gonna have to pace myself. I didn't sleep too much last night, but that's why we're getting off to a late start today. But that's okay. You know, day's going okay. You know, I trying to wake up. Had 5 eggs and some pecorino romano for breakfast. So Deep says looking good. Thank you so much. All right, man. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to listen to. This is going to be unabridged. This is going to be, you know, here and there I might say something, but I'm going to try not to stop it. I want it to be like playing continuously, and it's only about 20 minutes long. The whole explanation that Rush gives about the true story of Thanksgiving. And I should put like a graphic or something on the screen to show it's from Rush. But I'll just say it. I don't have time to do that right now. We're going to start off with some lat pull downs. And then we're going to transition to some other back exercises as well. All right. Michelle Marie says, hello. Hello. Hey, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving to you. So let's turn it on. And we'll get started here.
The Pilgrims begins in the early part of the 17th century. The Church of England under King James I was persecuting anyone and everybody who did not recognize the church's absolute civil and spiritual authority, actually the state. Now, those who challenged the ecclesiastical authority and those who believed strongly in freedom of worship were hunted down. It's in England in the 1600s. They were hunted down, they were imprisoned, sometimes executed for what they believed. So a group of separatists, people that didn't want any part of this, fled first to Holland. They liked wooden shoes and cheese. They established a community. They were there for 11 years. After 11 years, about 40 of these separatists who liked wooden shoes and cheese agreed to make a perilous journey to the New World. They had heard about it. Some new exciting place hadn't been developed. They knew that they were going to face hardship. Hardship like you and I don't know. And I'm not preaching to you. I'm just telling you, we don't know the hardship these people endured. We can't. We are way too advanced now. People who lived in the 1600s would not believe life today. Try to explain flight, jet travel. They wouldn't understand it. They knew they were facing hardship. But
let me grab my
paramount importance to them was living
my timer here
freely and worshiping God according to the dictates of their own consciences, their own beliefs. That's what they were denied the freedom to do in England. So, August 1st, 1620, the Mayflower set sail. There were a total of 102 passengers, including 40 of these separatists, the Pilgrims. There were just 40 of them. They were led by a man named William Bradford. Remember his name. On the journey across the Atlantic, you talk about something that had to be frightening and scary. The Mayflower was not much bigger than a 50-foot boat, 102 people on it. On the journey, William Bradford set up an agreement, a contract, if you will, that established just and equal laws for all members, all 40 members of this pilgrim community. Didn't matter what their religious beliefs were. These were the laws they were all agreeing to live by. Now, where did these laws, these ideas, come from? We're talking about the Mayflower Compact is what Bradford wrote. The Mayflower Compact derived from the Bible. The Pilgrims were
Here we go. Let's do another set.
Completely steeped in the Bible, Old and New Testaments. They were devoutly religious people. No matter what else is said about them, and even that is denied, they were devoutly religious. They looked to the ancient Israelites for much of their example, and because of the biblical precedent set forth in Scripture, they never doubted, because of their faith in God, that their experiment would work. They never doubted they would get to the New World. They never doubted that once they got there, they would thrive. The journey was long. It was arduous. It was dangerous. And when they finally landed, when the Pilgrims finally landed in New England in November, according to William Bradford's detailed journal, they found a cold, barren, desolate wilderness. Imagine New England, as it exists today, has nothing but rocks, forest, undeveloped nature in November and getting colder. There were no friends to there was no shelter of any kind other than what, hiding under a tree. There was nothing, folks. It was desolate. There were no hotels. There were no inns. There were no places to clean up. There were no houses. This was real hardship. The sacrifice that they had made for the freedom to worship was just beginning. During that first winter, remember they arrive in November, during that first winter, half of them, including William Bradford's own wife, died of starvation, of sickness, exposure to the elements.
Wow.
Now we're getting close to
That's terrible.
When spring finally came, and by the way, writing that doesn't do it justice. Spring didn't just finally came. It was a survival. It was an act of survival that you and I cannot possibly relate to or understand. American Special Forces people, military people who've been trained can understand what the Pilgrims were. You and I can't. We've never done anything like that first winter in the New World. They survived. Spring finally came. They did meet the Indians, Native Americans who were there. They did help them in planting corn and fishing for cod. They showed them where the beavers were so the beavers could be skinned for coats, other things. You animal rights people are not going to like some of this story, but it happened. But even at this, even with this degree of assistance from the Indians and Native Americans, there wasn't any prosperity yet. They had the Mayflower Compact. They had these laws they were living by, but there was no prosperity. And I wonder why. Now, this is important to understand here, folks, because this is where modern American history lessons end, with the Indians teaching the Pilgrims how to eat, how to fish, how to skin beavers and all that. That's where it ends. And that's the feel-good story, but that doesn't even get close to the true story. Thanksgiving is actually explained in some textbooks as a holiday for which the Pilgrims gave thanks to the Indians for saving their lives. It wasn't. That happened, but Thanksgiving was a devout expression of gratitude to the Pilgrims, to God, for their survival and everything that was a part of it. Now, here's the part that has been omitted. The original contract the Pilgrims entered into in Holland, they had sponsors. They didn't have the money to do this trip on their own. They had sponsors. There were merchant sponsors in London and in Holland. And these merchant sponsors demanded that everything that the Pilgrims produced in the New World would go into a common store, a single bank, if you will. And that each member of the Pilgrim community was entitled to one share. So everybody had an equal share of whatever was in that bank. All of the land they cleared, all of the houses they built belonged to that bank, to the community as well. And they were going to distribute it equally because they were going to be fair. So all of the land that they cleared and all the houses they built belonged to everybody, belonged to the community, belonged to the bank, belonged to the common store. Nobody owned anything. They just had an equal share in it. It was a commune. The Pilgrims established a commune, essentially. Forerunner of the communes we saw in the 60s and 70s out in California. They even had their own organic vegetables, by the way. Yep, the Pilgrims, forerunners in organic vegetables. Of course, what else could there be? No such thing as processed anything back then. Now, William Bradford, who had become the governor of the colony because he was the leader, recognized that this wasn't going to work. This was costly and destructive, and it just wasn't working. It was collectivism. It was socialism. It wasn't working. That first winter had taken a lot of lives. The manpower was greatly reduced. So William Bradford decided to take bold action, which I will describe. William Bradford, governor of the Pilgrim community, saw that none of this was working. The Mayflower Compact was not working. Giving everybody a single share of stock in the common store, in the common bank, was not working. Collectivism. It was costly and destructive to Pilgrims as it is and has been to anybody who is in it. So Bradford decided to struggle. Threw it out. Took bold action. He signed a plot of land to each family. Every family was given a plot of land. They could work it, manage it, however they wanted. They just wanted to sit on it, get that This community was found to breed much confusion and discontent and retard much infliction that would have been work. When they set it up, killed and discouraged work. For young men that were most able and fit for labor and service, sat around and did nothing. Spend their time and strength to work for other men's wives and children, not being paid for it. Why do that? It was thought to be why should you work for other people? He was saying your folks people could not be expected without specific. So what did they try? What did Bradford's Pilgrim try next? They unharnessed power of freedom. They invoked the private all the way back in every family was assigned its own plot plan. Bradford wrote this had very good success, for it made all hands industrious. So as much more corn was planted, otherwise. So when profit was the opportunity to prosper. That, my friends, is the essence of the true story of Thanksgiving. This is where it gets really good. Laboring under the misconception that I was taught to do. They set up trading posts. They exchanged goods with the Indians after they had enjoyed this prosperity. It was not the Indians that brought them prosperity, and it's not said to insult anybody. The Indians assisted them on their arrival, undeniably. But what led to prosperity for these original settlers was a discovery that the common store failed. Socialism didn't work when they introduced what turns out to be capitalism. They didn't have the name for it, but when they turned loose individual incentives. Keep what you produce. Sell what you need. They went crazy. This is not something they were taught by anybody but self-experience. It's not the Indians. None of this is said to put anybody down. Don't misunderstand. The Indians did a lot of things that helped them, which I'll get to in just a second, but it was their own industriousness. They set up trading posts. They exchanged goods with the Indians. They sold stuff to them. And those profits allowed them to pay off the debts of their sponsors in London and in Holland. And you know what? The success of that colony, after they had abandoned socialism and tried what was essentially capitalism, the word spread throughout the old world of this massive amount of prosperity that was there for the taking in the New World. And guess what happened? The New World was flooded with new arrivals. The success and the prosperity of the Plymouth settlement attracted more Europeans and began what came to be known as the Great Puritan Migration. And all it took was prosperity and the word spreading across the Atlantic Ocean of how there was prosperity and it was there for the taking. All you had to do was get there and give it a shot. The lesson is, the true story of Thanksgiving is that William Bradford and his Pilgrim community were thanking God for the blessings on their community.
I'm going to switch up the exercise, guys.
After the first,
we'll do some
winter of a documented failure brought on by
we'll do some barbell rows. I got to get it set up.
Socialism. It didn't work. Only when they abandoned it did it work. And I need to say again, because I don't want people to be misunderstood, get nervous at that point. The Native Americans, the indigenous peoples, the Indians, whatever you want to call them. They were of considerable assistance, and they were friendly when the Pilgrims arrived, but they had little, if anything, to do with the prosperity that occurred, because that was the result of Bradford and the Pilgrim leadership deciding to change their structure according to the Mayflower Compact. Now, the Indians assisted. Now, I can't deny it. I mean, they taught them how to fish and this kind of thing they didn't know how to do, and that led them to be productive, undeniably so. But it was the Pilgrim community itself which experienced this massive prosperity. The word of mouth spread all the way back to Europe, across the Atlantic Ocean. Now,
let's see. We'll do some
earlier that the Federalist
bent over rows.
has a story on all this. And in it, they describe much of what we did in the second book that dealt with this, the children's book, Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims. And that book goes into great detail about how the Indians did provide assistance and what kind of assistance it was, how valuable it was, and how crucial it was. And in Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims, we focus on a
Let's put a little more on here.
American by the name of Squanto. Now, as I told you, during that first winter, 1620, only 44 of the original 102 Pilgrims survived. They had an elected governor by the name of John Carver. And it was an Indian by the name of Squanto who came to the rescue. And this is, as I say, explored in great detail in Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims. Now, Squanto was no ordinary native. Early settlers in 1610 captured him and sold him into slavery. A group of Catholic friars ended up freeing him, brought him to England, where he learned to speak English. In 1618, serving as an interpreter on an English ship, he was brought back to the New World. It was Squanto, who is a famous Native American in his own right in the Pilgrim story. It was Squanto who taught the Pilgrims how to plant, how to fish, how to skin beavers. It was Squanto who brokered a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and other Indian tribes. There was more than one tribe of Indians. It was not copacetic. It was not friendly and at one with nature. It was not anything like the multiculturalists would have you believe. There were squabbles, there were power struggles, turf battles. It was human.
I'll get one more.
The Indians, the Pilgrims, everybody was scrambling for power, for survival. Survivability was the name of the game, and it was not guaranteed. Now, many of the Pilgrims literally believed that God had sent Squanto to save them. And they believe, Pilgrims believe, that without Squanto, they never would have survived or thrived. And they experienced a tremendous harvest in 1621. And that's the big gathering that is taught in the history books. The native Indians and the Pilgrims joined together for a huge feast, which is the foundational story of the Thanksgiving story that's taught in public schools. But again, that is not the real story of Thanksgiving. That's the textbook brain. It did happen. There's so much more than that. And I love taking the opportunity every year to explain the truth, especially now, given how this election has apparently allegedly fallen out. Because even as the Federalist side, this is so great that the story is spreading. One of the most important legacies of the early settlers is that they experimented with socialism in the 1620s and it did not work. Private property rights, personal responsibility saved the Plymouth colony from extinction and laid the economic foundation for the free and prosperous nation that we all enjoy today. And that is exactly right. And that is the true story of Thanksgiving. And that has been what we have shared with you every Thanksgiving for the past 31 years.
What do you think? That was pretty cool, right? I have family going back to Nicaragua, where there's currently a socialist or communist dictator in charge. At the time, it always used to be that way. My grandfather had a farm. He was doing well. All that was taken from him from the government, from the communist revolution that took place there. So I think it's important on Thanksgiving to realize not just, the things that actually make the true story of Thanksgiving, what makes America great. It's our capitalist system. The problem is we don't have a capitalist system necessarily. We have an oligarchy in charge. It's not true capitalism, but at least we talk about like it's really capitalism, The ideas are correct. The implementation is not what it should be. But anyhow, I hope you liked that. That was Rush Limbaugh. Of course, Rush is no longer here with us, so I thought it was a good idea to play what he would have played on Thanksgiving, or talk about what he would have talked about, which is the true story of Thanksgiving. But like I said, communism, socialism never works. Nicaragua is not a prosperous country now after the communist revolution. Communism, because it has no incentive, does not work. So I wish young kids would understand that. I remember this, there was a story about this teacher who said that he would do an experiment with his class. He said, let's do this. Every student in my class, he said, is going to get the average of all the different grades that you receive on tests and stuff. So let's like he had 30 kids and some got A's, some got B's, some got C's. So like after the first time, everyone pretty much had a B, right? Now after the second time, the kids who studied hard and they really tried hard to get an A, they're not going to carry the whole class on their back. So they just stopped studying because they're like, you know what, I might as well just get a B. I don't have to study because I'm going to get a B anyway. What happened? Those kids who were making the average higher than it would have been, they stopped studying and they eventually got B's. And the kids who kind of studied, but, eventually got a B, they got C's. So the second time around that did the experiment, everyone had a C, right? And then after the third time they did the experiment, everyone had a D. So the class average kept getting lower and lower. Why? Because there's no incentive to work harder. If there's a reward, of course, this is common sense. You don't need to have all these fancy terms and terminology to understand. This is common sense. If there's incentive, people are going to work hard. That's all it is. So you take away the incentive, people are not going to work hard. They're going to leave, basically. And that's what happens throughout history. So that's what he showed his students, and his students. I wish every professor in college did that with their kids, and their kids would not be these out and out socialists and stuff and communists that they are. But I can understand the disillusionment with what they think is capitalism because of what we have in the White House now and what we have in our country now is not really capitalism. It's an oligarchy that benefits the corporate interests. It's not true capitalism. So that's the problem. everything, our tax system, everything benefits those at the very top. It's not the way it should be in a true capitalist free market system. But anyway, enough about politics and stuff. Let me get another set. I'm going to put some music on now. I'm going to put some reggae on, some dub reggae, some nice chill tunes. And I am checking the chat. You guys want to say hi or whatever if you can. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing your own version of a Thanksgiving workout yourself. Copyright free. Don't forget to put copyright free. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Here we go. All right. Well, it's coming on in a second. And we'll get another set. All right. Let's do a set. Here we go. I want to make sure I get some planks today too. That was third set. We need fourth set. Let me see how many sets we want to do. 7 or 8 altogether. Man, this felt hat is hot, making me hot. Then we'll do some biceps, then planks. No, we got to get traps too. So we have a little bit of work to do today. We want to earn that Thanksgiving dinner, right? And then when you overeat on Thanksgiving, it's like not even a thing, of course. Everyone's going to overeat on Thanksgiving, right? But if you work out beforehand, actually mitigate some of that. And when you get your insulin all hopped up, then goes to the muscles. Trying to be strict. Let's do a minute 20. Yeah, I like listening to that Limbaugh stuff because it's kind of like we were taught certain things in school is not 100% the whole story, and it's good to get the whole story, That goes for a lot of things. So it's important to get, hear different points of view and stuff like that. I don't know if our young generation is getting the stuff that we got when we were in school, because I'm in my 40s, right? I don't think the younger generation is taught about the importance of free speech or freedom of religion and the thinking and the rationale behind those things. I don't think they're taught that. So it's good that someone talks about it, because otherwise it's just not good. 2 seconds, 1 second. Here we go. There's the ducks. Time to do another set. Here we go. Another minute 20. What's on your mind, guys? Get in a quick workout. You don't need weights and stuff. You need to go to a gym. Just do some push-ups. Do some squats, body weight squats. Do them slow. Do everything slow and controlled. And get some burns. That way you sit down to your Thanksgiving dinner and you don't feel like such a fat ass. You know? You'll actually be on your way to getting in shape. What's better than that? So, yeah, we're going to bring the little baby over for her first Thanksgiving. My daughter, their first Thanksgiving. We get the high chair ready and all that. We're probably going to give her some dark meat turkey, you know, dark meat. It's a little softer, maybe cut into really tiny pieces so she can eat it and digest it properly. She hasn't really eaten too much meat though. She has had little pieces of pasta. Of course, she's had fruit and little pieces of fruit. She's had eggs, but she hasn't had meat or any chicken or fish or anything like that. She has had peanut butter puffs. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be good. Ooh. Okay. Just put that one down, log that one down, record it. We have a few more. Meat sauce. Meat sauce would be good. Meat sauce. Actually, no, she did have meat sauce. I forgot to mention that. She had meat sauce. So this is not her first time having meat. Thank you. Good point. Good point. So it's exciting, you know. What kind of traditions do you guys have for Thanksgiving? What do you do for Thanksgiving? I talk to some people. They're like, they don't like turkey, regular turkey. They like fried turkey. You know, some people deep fry the turkey. They have this whole contraption to do that. I don't have that. And I haven't really prepared turkeys. I always go to someone else's house for Thanksgiving, but I can see myself trying the fried turkey thing. It's supposedly delicious. It's supposedly really good. I don't think it's good for you. Anything deep fried is probably not that good for you, but it's something that I would like to try. I don't know if I'm willing to spend all the money on that big deep fryer just to try it. That's the thing. If I could buy it somewhere to try it, that would be even better. I heard some people even do like turkey wings only because they like the wings. So they just make turkey wings, a bunch of turkey wings instead of having the whole turkey. Michelle Marie says, I want fried turkey. I want to try it too. We should try it, right? Let's try it. My favorite side dish is, other than stuffing, which is my favorite, I love stuffing, is of course green beans and peas and corns and carrots and things like that. What's another good side dish for Thanksgiving? Of course, besides cranberry sauce. I'm not a big fan of the canned cranberry sauce. I like the actual cranberry sauce you make with real cranberries. That's the best one. I do like putting the gravy on top. Mashed potatoes. Thank you. Something just reminded me. A little birdie said. Sweet potatoes that are mashed. Have you ever had mashed sweet potatoes? That's actually my favorite. Mashed sweet potatoes. Let's call two more and then. Michelle Marie says they don't call it stuffing in the South. They call it dressing. But then how do they not get that confused with actual dressing, like salad dressing? What do they call salad dressing? You know, I think they call salad dressing salad cream in England. Salad cream, which is does not very appetizing of a name. Would you like some salad cream? It's just not the same. Dressing is a better way to say it. It's a more dainty way of saying it, more appetizing. So, you know, let me speed up this music a little bit because I don't like this track. These ads. Here we go. Okay, two more of these. Let's see if we can do one more back movement. Trying to think what that would be. Nah, two more of these. Biceps. That's what we'll do with the Olympic bar. Of course, turkey has a lot of tryptophan in it, which is a naturally occurring compound that makes you sleepy. Some people fall asleep on the couch, like after Thanksgiving dinner. That's never happened to me. I don't think that's ever happened to me. But maybe it's like more pronounced in some people than others. I don't know. All right, let me get another step. One more. Let's wait a little longer in between here. Okay. 140. Let's squeeze it in here. So I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. Family's going to be there. You know, I think the corn, canned corn, no. Corn, some people do something with the corn that makes it really good. Some people put corn in the cornbread, like pieces, kernels of corn. I think there's also something called creamed corn. Creamed corn is it is just like it sounds. It's like a version of corn that's more creamy and soft and like beat up. So Michelle Marie says, why do babies not have bad breath? I don't, you know what? My daughter doesn't really have bad breath. What do you think there? I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't have teeth yet. Maybe because what makes someone have bad breath is when like stuff gets stuck in their teeth and stuff is stuck in their in their gums and their gum line, and causes all like bad bacteria collects there. Because she has only the 2 little teeth right now, so it's not a lot to take care of. It's very easy to take care of those little teeth, All right, the time has come. Another set. Get 2 more. Oh man. All right, let's switch it up. Hit some biceps. Cheat curls first. Olympic bar with 20 pounds, because that's 65 altogether. And I thought that was a good weight last time. Unless I can get these 2.5, I'll put another 5 on. All right, so stand by. Hold on. Okay, we got 70 pounds on. We'll get some of these this way. Then we got to get some hammer curls for something close. Maybe some preacher curls will do. Maybe 2-3 different types of exercises for biceps. Because the key is you have to get different parts of the bicep, right? When you're on a cheat curl, you're getting the outer part of the bicep. On a closer grip like this, you're getting this part of your bicep. Excuse me, I screwed that up. This part of the bicep when you're doing cheat curls. This part of the bicep when you're doing a close hand or close hammer curl. The part of your bicep that's underneath here when you're doing preacher curls. So you can do all 3. Let's get some oxygen here. Let's not forget we got to do traps too today. We're on a 3-day split, so we have to get traps in this workout. Otherwise, we won't get them in. 3-day split's working out well for me. I went from a 2-day split to a 3-day split. I tried a 4-day split in between. That was too much. I wasn't getting enough sleep and recovery or food, so I dropped it back to a 3-day split. Now I'm growing again pretty well as long as I get enough calories in and protein. Prioritizing the protein, of course. I got to try not to eat too close to bed, though, because I noticed that when I do that, it's harder for me to fall asleep. So I have to get the food in sooner if I can. All right, let's do it. Check this. See that with the G curl, you can do a little self spot at the end. You know, a little like this, a little momentum. Another 2 reps. That was good. Take a breather. Trying to get my lat spread to come out more. My wings starting to come out more. So, when I was lifting, let's say like 10 years ago, even 8 years ago, 5 years ago, and not getting sleep, I would try to do the Thanksgiving workout. I'd do way too much. I'd overtrain myself, and then I would eat turkey dinner, and I would feel like crap. But now that I'm sleeping more overall, because I got the CPAP machine, I've been able to consistently train, so my body is a little bit more in a trained state. I can handle it better, and I can do a workout like this and then eat turkey dinner and feel great. So in order of priority, sleep is higher than training. Sleep is more important than training. Sleep is more important than food. Food is below sleep. So if you think of it that way, you'll be better served. Let's do another set. Two cheats, let's see. One. Okay. It's when cheating is allowed in a cheat curl. When cheating is a good thing. When you're doing a cheat curl. That was what, 2 sets? You got to get more than that. We'll do up to, I don't know, 5 or 6, and we'll do the other exercises. So anybody working out this Thanksgiving? Anybody? It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It could be, I don't know, going for a run or doing some type of, I don't know, racquetball or whatever sport it is that you play. You know, it makes the food taste much better, doesn't it? After you feel hungry for it and stuff. I'm going to have to get lunch in between, though. I have to eat some lunch. I'm not going to wait till 5 p.m. is when Thanksgiving dinner is. I'm not going to wait till then. After this workout's over, I got to get some lunch. I already have a piece of venison already defrosted in the freezer, in the refrigerator. I should, I don't know, I should probably marinate it or something, try to get, and then I'll put it on the grill. Just another set. Check out the free ebook Jesus Lifts on my website, pesgarcia.com as well. It's a great listen, I can't make it any more obvious. By making it available for free, I'm basically saying it's so important, then that price should not be a barrier to entry for this free ebook. It's that important. It's that life-changing. It's that incredible. I challenge you to read at least one testimony. It's 14 in the book. Pick one. And then tell me, report back to me if you think if your reaction to it, good or bad. And I'll post it. I'll talk about it. So far, I had one person come back and say it was amazing and very interesting, and they enjoyed it. So far, one positive review. If I hear back negative reviews, just tell me what was negative about it. I will post it. You know? Let's squeeze some more blood. Did my timer go off? I think it did. Let's do another set. I'm gonna need more rest time here. I don't know, two more of these. Any Thanksgiving traditions in your family? Any workouts happening today on Thanksgiving in your family? I don't know. Families have all different types of traditions. You never know. Some people, I think, have fish on Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's a thing. But I wouldn't want to have a fish. You know what I would love to do is actually shoot a turkey, like turkey hunting, and have that turkey in the freezer for Thanksgiving. Like, let's say I shoot a spring turkey, a spring gobbler, as they say. You know, field dress it, take the shot out of it, whatever, then put it in the freezer. That should keep for until November, because that's about 6 months max. And they say 6 months if you're going to freeze it. I think up to a year is a whole turkey. If you freeze a whole turkey, I heard that's good up to a year. But eating a wild turkey, I heard, is tasty, more flavorful. It's more lean, of course. It's not like these fat and butterball turkeys, but it's supposedly healthier for you, better for you, more natural, leaner meat. So I would love to try that, but I have to find some good turkeys. I haven't found too many turkeys in my area. I have to look around harder. Now let's do another set. One more cheek, come on. Damn. If you can see it, pump. Okay. Definitely feeling a pump. Okay, let's do some hammer curls. Let me see here. Wait, let me see. Oh, let me try something else. No. I gotta grab these two. I gotta grab these weights. Hold on. Ow. Hurt my pinky. There we go. See, the good thing with these little spinny things is you could put them on any Olympic, standard. It fits both. So you're good. Okay, let's do it. Hammer curls. It's like this. Get some oxygen. Keep the brain in a zen-like state. That's why the reggae also. Here we go. Uh, 15. Okay. 1 minute this time. 1 minute rest. 20 seconds. Okay, here we go. Coming up on 5 seconds. There it is. Burns there. Here we go. Another one. So, on Thanksgiving, I think it's the perfect holiday for everybody because it's not religious. It's just about being thankful. Who disagrees about the idea of being thankful? I would think nobody, right? But knowing that the way things are, it's like maybe there's people out there who are against being thankful. But I would like to think that they're a very small minority. But being thankful is a good thing. Can we agree on that? Being thankful for what we have. It's a good state of being to be in. But just know that as you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you should understand that the Pilgrims were the ones who had a huge part in Thanksgiving being what it is today. And the Pilgrims were Christians, so it's not a Christian holiday, but it has a Christian roots, you could say. Oh, yeah. Feeling that. We got to do some more, though. Gonna do some more. Another minute. It's not just a vanity thing when I pose like this. It's trying to squeeze more blood into the muscle. There's a reason why I do it. You can actually probably build your biceps just by squeezing them like this. No curls at all. If you do that long enough, they'll probably grow. Gotta do some planks. We'll do some. More. Do more. You know, one of my ideas I had just now this morning, I was looking through X. Maybe might be interesting, might be whatever. Do a chair workout. You ever see like these senior citizens do chair workouts? You know, I would do a chair workout. Not a senior citizen, but I would do a chair workout and kind of do my own commentary on if I think it's effective. I'm sure it's kind of effective. But actually, I would be able to do a chair workout and do talk easier than being out of breath how I am now and trying to talk. So let's do another one. Come on. Oh, I gotta get one more now. That was a good burn. So as I was saying, you know, the chair workout thing, that's an idea. That would be kind of interesting and / funny to do. I want to talk about this whole robotic girlfriend thing. People are, you know, I think they're stupid, really. They think that this robot girlfriend thing is going to become the norm among men, and men are going to choose robot girlfriends instead of real girlfriends. That's all BS. The only type of guy who's going to go for a robot girlfriend is the type of guy who literally cannot get any type of girl to save his life. And most guys, thankfully, are not like that. They're not that bad. Although some guys do exist and they're really that bad. So I think it's overblown. I think they're exaggerating. I know. It would probably be only popular among like the wealthy, the rich, the elite to have like a robot girlfriend in addition to their wife. And that's the only reason they would get it. Not saying condoning it. That's a stupid reason. But the whole idea behind it is stupid to begin with and lame and makes you look like a loser. So I highly doubt it's going to happen. Okay, so what we're going to do next is some preacher curls. Let's move the camera. I gotta move my mic. So Preacher curls actually get a different part of the bicep. It gets your what's the name of it again? Your brachialis. So let's do it. Oh my gosh. Okay. My phone, hold on. I got a random text from a number that says, "Want to eat ribs?" I don't know who you are, bro, but you got the wrong number. Wrong number. Who asks if they want to eat ribs on Thanksgiving, man? No respect. No respect for the holiday. Not to say ribs are bad. I mean, spare ribs are good. You ever get spare ribs from the Chinese restaurant? Spare ribs are delicious. I never made ribs on the grill, but I would like to. The problem with ribs, from my perspective as a bodybuilder, amateur bodybuilder, is that ribs are very fatty. So you're eating a lot of saturated fat at the same time, not getting as much protein as you could be eating a leaner piece of meat. That's why guys who are in competition for bodybuilders, they usually eat like tilapia with broccoli and things like that, which are very lean, and turkey meat and things like that. And of course, chicken breast and things like that as well. Ribs just kind of like conjure up pictures of like guys that are really overweight and bald, eating it with a bunch of slathered on barbecue sauce that gets on their shirt when they eat it. That's what I think of when I think of ribs. But they're still appetizing though. Still appetizing, not because of the image, because of the taste. They are tasty. Did I put my timer on? Ooh, I am feeling that last set here. Let's do another one. Oh. Ah. We'll get a few more. How many more should we get? Maybe 2? Let's see how we feel here. We did 2 so far. It's only fair if we should probably get 3. Man, my biceps feels fatigued. Whew. Then we got to get traps. Then we got to get core. What time is it? It's 12:18. We're doing okay on time. Local time is 12:18. So we'll try to wrap it up soon, though. Two more. Almost there. Almost there. You ever celebrate Friendsgiving? Anybody out there celebrate Friendsgiving? I think I did one time years ago, but I haven't done it since. Friendsgiving is a thing. It's like a Thanksgiving for friends. Is that what it is? But why not just invite them to your regular Thanksgiving? I guess because they already have plans for Thanksgiving, but they don't have plans for Friendsgiving. So you're supposed to have Friendsgiving before Thanksgiving. I don't know, man. I don't have enough friends to do Friendsgiving. But maybe I should try to get some more friends and we could do Friendsgiving. I'll go, hey, I'm looking for some more friends so I could do Friendsgiving. Would you be my friend? Other than the Friendsgiving thing, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Let's see how that goes over. I'm tapping out at 7 here. I'm almost getting 8. Last set of this. Let me check the mirror. So for traps are a pain because then I have to load up the weight again. See, it's not like a commercial gym. I have to set up the bar each time. In the gym, I can just walk over to another rack and get a new bar where it already has the weight I have. The weight I need on it already. Now I can't do that here. But I also can't do a live stream from a commercial gym. So there's that too. It's a trade-off, If I had to choose, I prefer this. Last one of these. Still 7. It's okay. we're done with that one. Let's move on. Let's see. Squeeze blood in there. Okay, traps. We're just gonna use what should we use? See, if I had like 70-pound dumbbells, that'd be perfect. I really need to get more dumbbells and stuff. All I got is 40-pound dumbbells. We're gonna have to use that. Let me see. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Not bad. Some good burns in there. What happened to my music? Yes, continue watching. Yeah. Let's see what's on your mind, guys. Someone's so quiet out there. Okay. Short rest time, 40-pound dumbbells, traps, multiple burns. Let's do it. Ten. Let's try 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. Oh yeah, burns. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's what you do if you don't have heavy weights. You just shorten the rest time. Oh my god, the burns are crazy. That's insane burns. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2. Oh my God. We got to stop it there. Traps are popping out there. You see the traps popping out? Should we do one more? Yeah, I want to do one more. One more. One more. It's time for planks. Let's take a breather for a second, though. Squeeze it. Has this ever happened to you? Like, you work out, right? Your muscles torn down. You don't eat enough protein that day, and then you go to sleep at night. You can't sleep. Has that happened to you? That's happened to me. That's why food is above your training. Sleep is the most important. Then comes your food. Then comes training. Technically, between sleep and food, you should be able to attain a great physique just from those two things. But training makes it even more, how would I say, supercharges the effect, makes it more effective, of course, makes a synergy between the three things, and then get even more gains. But I'm just saying, technically, you could use those two things and that alone. I think for many years, hundreds of years, that's what people did. Between their sleep and their food, that's what made them, that's how they got in shape. I don't think bodybuilding existed to the extent it does today back like 100 years ago. I don't know. I think people were too poor. There's not enough access to food. At this moment, we still have, even though prices are high in the grocery store, it's crazy, we still have a lot of access to food, which makes it easier to do bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Okay, let's do some planks. Okay, let's move this over here. Planks time. So last time we did 1:30. This time let's try to do 2-minute plank. 2-minute plank I did it a while ago, 2 weeks ago. Kicked my butt. Let's see how it is today. Ugh. Okay. Here we go. was 2 minutes. Wasn't too bad. It helps when you're looking at the countdown clock, I have to say. Without the countdown clock, it makes it harder mentally. You want to give up sooner, but we'll do a few more of these. And then try not to do anything except for planks and vacuums for my midsection, just because I don't want to build up any type of bulk whatsoever. I keep it trim. So we're almost done. Almost done here. We're getting on. This is going to be a while. I'll do a few of these and then we'll call it quits. I'll be done. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. That one was considerably harder. Seeing the countdown clock did not help. I felt my body trying to transfer some of the strain of holding myself in this position onto my anterior delts. That's what typically happens. I'll try for a little bit longer rest time, and then that way I can make sure to focus on the core alone. Take a breather. Oh my God. I like the planks though. They're good. Did I gain a little bit of weight? I think I gained like 2 pounds, 2 or 3 pounds. I was relatively steady at 214 for a while. And I noticed that my midsection was trimmer at 214. I'm a little more pudge there at 216 around. What am I, 217 almost? But this is coming on winter time, so it doesn't matter that much. I don't want to gain too much fat though. So I'll start counting my calories more strictly like I was before. And make sure that I don't go up too much. Plus with me, like I'm 5'8", so when I gain too much weight, what ends up happening with me is all my joints and my ligaments and my tendons and stuff, my knees, my ankles start to pain me like crazy. But when I was I was close to 250 at one point. Past like 225, 230, 240, around that zone, my ankles and my joints and stuff would start hurting. I couldn't take long walks, and that sucked. So I relied on diet alone just to get myself down to where I could start working out again. But right now, it's not too terrible where I am. I will be leaner, but right now it doesn't matter. I just want to get working out and more protein in. So. Oh. All right, let's do it again. Uh-oh. Huh. Shaking like a leaf. Ah. I don't know if I can do it. No dice. My hat fell off. Hold on. I fixed my hat. That was like a minute 30. right, we'll do one more. I don't know if we'll get 2 minutes. We'll probably get a minute and a half and see how it goes. That was about a minute. All right. Okay. Move the camera back. Legend says, nice. What's up, Legend? Happy Thanksgiving to you and your fam. I hope you're enjoying today. We're finishing up our workouts right now. Should do a little bit vacuum. I'm starting to make some gains, guys. This is going on my 4th month. Consistent training. All right. I'm not starting from zero because I used to be, in good shape years ago. You maintain a lot of muscle, believe it or not, even though when you kind of stop training or you have muscle memory, it comes back quicker. The foundation of muscle. Anyhow, next workout will be Sunday, which will be legs. And Monday's chest and tries. So 3 days split right now. I'm liking the 3 day split. We're going to stick with it. I'm still making good gains. The limiting factor for me right now is sleep because the baby wakes me up at night. If it's not the baby waking me up at night, it's my wife who can't sleep because of the baby who's waking me up at night. And then she's telling me, getting all amped up and stuff, and she wants to go to sleep. And, I totally understand. Like she's working like the candle at both ends and, taking care of the baby the majority of the day while I'm at work and stuff. So it's really hard. So, I get it. But for me, the end result is I'm not sleeping like I should be. Like last night, I barely slept. I slept, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours. So once I get consistent sleep again, maybe I'll go to a 4 day split. But again, it takes time. Like your body has to adapt slowly over time to be able to do that. So right now I'm happy with the 3 day split. I'm doing a push-pull legs split, which is your traditional push-pull legs. And it's working out. It's good. I'm doing high reps, high sets. And I'm doing a short rest time. I'm pumping up the muscle. I'm getting a good burns. And so far it's working for me. So I don't know. I mean, you be the judge. I mean, I'm recording, I'm live streaming all my workouts. So no one can tell me, oh, hey, he's fake or he's on gear. Or like I've never seen him, I'm putting all my workouts out there so people see, and then they could judge for themselves. But check out the free ebook, Jesus Lifts, on my website, fezgarcia.com. It's 14 Jesus testimonies, how people came to Christ and their stories of how that happened. And you know, they were former Buddhists, they were former Jews, they were former Muslims, they were former everything, and then they came to Christ. You know, what other religion can say that? I don't think any religion other than Christianity can say that. Other faiths come to Christianity, come to know Jesus. So it's a unique factor about it. So check it out. Happy Thanksgiving again, and God bless you guys.